Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Zohanim, roll number 21TE01. Today I will be discussing lab number 12 of digital signal processing. The title of this lab is Infinite Impulse Response Filters. For the task 1, we are given with a DSP system and the difference equation of the system is also given and the initial conditions of y of n and x of n are given. The input signal x of n is equals to 0.8 raised to power n into u of n. We have to compute the system response y of n for 20 samples using MATLAB. The code is given. To see this code on MATLAB, we have this. Now we have defined all our initial conditions, and to compute the system response, we are iterating the value of n from 3 to 20. Now we are displaying the system response on our command window, and we are plotting the input and the system response using the stem function. To see the output, we have here is the output. In the task 2 of the given lab, we have a transfer function of a DSP system, and we have to find the impulse response, the step response, and the system response if the input signal x of n is 0.25 raised to power n into u of n. For the code, we have here first we have defined the numerator and the denominator coefficients. Then for the impulse response, we have used the impulse z function on the numerator and denominator, and we have displayed the response. For the step response, we have used this function, and for the system response, we have iterated the function from 0 to 20 and computed the response. For plotting, we use the subplots and the stem functions. Here is the output. This is the impulse response, then we have our step response, and then the system response. In the task 3, we are given a digital transfer function, and we have to plot the zeros and poles and use the frequency z function to find the plot of frequency response. Here first we have defined the numerator and denominator of the function, and then we have used the z-plane to plot the zeros and poles of the given function and frequency z on the numerator and denominator to find the frequency response of the given transfer function. Here we have the pole zero plots. We can see the system is stable, and this is the frequency response. We can see this is a high pass filter. Now for the task 4, we are given with 4 transfer functions, and for each of them we have to sketch the pole zero plots and determine the stability status of the digital system. Here we have once again defined all of the numerator and denominator coefficients using the numerator 1, denominator 1, numerator 2, denominator 2, up to so on. And then we have used the z-plane function to plot the zeros and poles of all of the transfer function individually. As we can see that for the transfer function 1, 2 of the poles lie outside the unit circle, so this is an unstable system. For the transfer function 2, we can see once again the 2 poles lie outside, this is also an unstable function. For the task 3, we can see the same, and for task 4, 2 lie outside, so all of these are unstable systems. In the task 5, we are once again given with a difference equation with a sampling rate of 8000 Hz. We have to determine the frequency response. We have calculated the numerator coefficient and denominator coefficient from the difference equation by transferring it into transfer function, and we have the sampling frequency of 8000. We have used the frequency z function to plot the frequency response. Here is the response. We can see this is a low pass filter. For task 6, we are given with 4 transfer functions and we have to plot the poles and zeros on z-plane. Using the MATLAB function frequency z, we have to plot the frequency and the phase response, and we have to identify the corresponding filter type. Here we have defined all of the coefficients of the numerator and denominator and use the frequency z function for the plotting. For the transfer function 1, we can see this is a low pass filter. The transfer function 2 represents a high pass filter. 3 represents a band pass filter and 4 represents a band stop filter or the notch filter. For task 6, we are given following feedback filters and we have to determine the location of the poles and zeros in the z-plane and we have to compare the two results. Here we have defined the input numerator and output numerator and denominator coefficients of the difference equation of the filter 1, and we have formed the transfer function from these coefficients. Now we can plot the poles and zeros in the z-plane using the numerator and denominator, and we have done the same for the filter 2. We can see both of these systems are unstable as the poles lie outside the unit circle. For the task 8, we are once again given with some difference equations and we have to determine the poles and zeros of the following filters. And we have to note that the degrees of numerator and denominator polynomials are different, so there should be the poles or zeros at z0 or z infinity. We have defined the numerator and denominator coefficients, and then we have formed a transfer function from these coefficients, and then using the z-plane function we have plotted the numerator poles and zeros for all of the transfer functions. We can see that a 0 lie on the 0, z is equals to 0. Here we can see that a 0 lies and 0 at the 0th position or the origin. For the task 8, we have to perform the example 8.2 from our textbook in the MATLAB. We have some analog frequency points for the computing of the filter gains. Then we can find the frequency response of the high pass filter using the frequency S function. And for the band pass filter, we can use the frequency S function, and we have plotted the functions. For the next task, we have to perform the example 8.6 from our textbook. Here we have a sampling frequency of 90 Hz and we have to perform the low pass to low pass prototyping, and we have to apply the bilinear transformation on this, and the frequency z function is used to produce the frequency response of the given filter. This is the magnitude response of the low pass filter. In the next task, we have to perform our example 8.7. Here we have to design the digital low-pass Butterworth filter. We have used the format long to increase the precision of our calculations. This helps us give the values up to 15 significant figures. We have used the sampling rate of 8000 and we have used the low-pass to low-pass transformation and bilinear transformation on the output function, and the frequency z is used to plot the magnitude response. This is used for the output we have. In the next task, we have to perform the example 8.8, that is the design of digital high-pass Butterworth filter. We have used the low-pass to high-pass transformation, and we have used the order 2. 3.867 into 10 raised to power 4 is the cutoff frequency, and the bilinear transformation is done to convert the analog filter specifications into digital filter specifications. Frequency Z is used to plot the function magnitude response of the filter. In the next task, we have to perform the example 8.9, that is the digital low-pass Butterworth filter. We have used the low-pass to low-pass transformation, and the order of the filter taken here is 2. This shows our cutoff frequency, and we have then used the bilinear transformation on our previously obtained S-type filter, and the frequency Z function is used to plot the magnitude response. Now we are designing the low-pass Chebyshev filter. We have used the low-pass to high-pass transformation, and the order of the filter taken here is second order, and 3.867 into 10 raised to power 4 is the cutoff frequency. Here is the output. In the next task, we are designing a digital bandpass Butterworth filter. So for a bandpass Butterworth filter, we always take order 1 as our prototype because the Butterworth filter gives us order 2. So if we take order 2 as a prototype, then we will get an order 4 as an output. So here we have taken the low pass to band pass transformation. This shows omega naught, and here's the bandwidth omega. The output is now we have to plot the digital band stop Butterworth filter. We are using the same method as before, and we have used the transformation as low pass to band stop filter. This is the output. In the last task, we have to perform the example 8.13, and we have to design a digital bandpass Chebyshev filter. Here we have only changed the prototype for the Chebyshev, and rest is the same. Here is the output. Thank you so much for watching. Allah.